shows how backward I am. I belong to the last century when English education was very important. My father thought that so he sent me to an English school, not a Chinese school. So before I introduce myself a little bit further, I would like to find out from all of you, how many of you want to go to university? Put up your hand. All right. Looks like a majority of you want to go to university. You want to aspire to go to university. How many of you don't want to go to university? Only one. Only one. Okay. So the rest of you want to go to university. Okay. I'm not making a judgment call here. It doesn't matter whether you go to university or you don't go to university. It's easy for me to say. It's tough for those who don't go to university to make it. It's harder, but doesn't mean that they won't make it in life. So that's the first survey. Second survey is, how many of you can understand my English? Okay, not that many. Okay, that's why my wife here for the translator. Okay, let me introduce my wife first. 她的名字是李红霞，她是从华山来的，中国华山。先叫农业大学，现在叫西北农业大学。
其实刚才看到，其实我们的同学每个人都可以讲很好的中文，也可以讲很好的英文。其实我的感触也是非常多。其实我呢是中国陕西过来的，然后呢读的大学是以前呢叫西北农业大学，现在改成了西北农业科技大学。
My name is Wong Jian, 健康的健 wrong, but it doesn't matter. And I was born stateless. Okay, most of you are surprised because I was born before Merdeka in 1957. So those of us who were non-Malays were born before 1957 stateless. We had to apply for citizenship.
我的出生在当时呢，其实是一个没有国家的年代，需要呢去注册我的出生地的时候呢，然后是没有国家的，当时说也是那个年代的一个产物吧。
Okay, the reason is because Malaya at that time was ruled by the British, and after the war, they wanted to form Malayan Union where they wanted to give everybody citizenship, but of course there were objections from the Convention, and so the Federation of Malaysia here was formed, where it was not agreed that we would get citizenship, but we had to apply for citizenship.
那个年代呢，马来西亚呢还是英国的殖民地，所以呢，这个出生的这个国籍呢不是自动获得的，而是要申请的。
So why is history important? It's important because we are here because of history. Many of us migrated from other countries to hear our ancestors, including the Lubis Trust. So we are here, but we are all Malaysians. We are all Malaysians. And as it should be, you should be loyal and faithful to your country.
这也是为什么我们的讲的简短的一个历史，虽然是华人，但是我们却是马来西亚出生、马来西亚国籍的马来 来西亚。
I come from I would say not a bad background, but my father had no education until the age of 9 or 10. He was running around, very poor. Both my mother and father, their mothers died before 4 years old, before they were 4 years old.
我的出生的也是一个非常穷的一个家庭。我的爸爸呢也没有受到很好的教育，在他9岁的时候呢，他的妈妈就去世了。他的黄坚强先生的妈妈也是一样的，也是出生在一个并不是贵的一个家庭。
We were from the village called Ampang village. You are Ampang Yangtungfu. That's the village that my parents were from. And my grandfathers, both grandfathers, were opium addicts.
其实呢，出生地呢再确切一点的是从安邦出生的，然后呢他两边的那个祖父呢都是有受到鸦片的迫害的。
So many of you here, your ancestors, probably immigrated from China to here because of the result of opium. Right? It destroyed many of us, our family. So we have to build from scratch. My family is no different. Similarly, we have to build from scratch. Very poor background.
我也相信在座的很多人的家庭可能和我有相似的背景，因为受到这个那个年代的特殊情况的影响，所以我们才会来到马来西亚从零开始。
Of course, today China is very different. So my father, at 9 years old, fortunately for him, in the village there's an old man who hauled him up and said, "Little boy, come here. You shouldn't be running around." He was smoking. At 9 years old, smoking. You shouldn't be running around smoking. You should go to school.
当我爸爸9岁的时候呢，当时在村里呢，可以说是一个智者看见了他，说你才9岁的年龄，你怎么在那里抽烟呢？你这个年龄应该是在学校里读书的。那个时候，他爸爸才突然感受到，我是应该去读书的。
So he, fortunately for him, had 5 years of education.
他呢也算幸运，后来受了5年的教育。
And during those 5 years, he squeezed both English and Chinese together.
在这5年的学习中呢，他同时学习了英文和中文。
And then he had to go out to work at about 15, 16 years old.
然后呢，因为这5年的教育，他还可以在15、16岁的时候就已经开始工作了。
But the good thing about him, he continued to learn in his life. So he took courses when he was working. As an electrician, he worked all the way up until when he retired, he was an engineer.
他是一个非常勤劳的一位长者，他在他的工作中呢一直在不断的进步自己，最后呢就成为一个工程师，然后直到退休。
So as a result, he emphasized education as #1 priority for his family. I guess for most families, it's also #1.
和所有华人的家庭一样的，我们都是非常注重教育的。他的爸爸也是一样。
So all my brothers, I have 8 brothers and 2 sisters. All my brothers went to universities.
黄建强先生有一个非常大的家庭，他有9个兄弟，每一位都去受到了大学的教育。
So, and most of us, and all of us actually, did reasonably well in life because of university.
也是因为教育呢，改变每一个人的生命和生活。
Of course, we had no Steve Jobs who dropped out, or Mark Zuckerberg, or Bill Gates. No, we are not that level. But for most of us, university education is very good foundation to build a future for yourself.
因为华人呢还是注重教育的，所以我们是一般都会完成我们的大学那个教育的，不像呢国外的，刚才提到几个非常有名的名人，比 比如说苹果的创始人，比如说这个 Microsoft 的创始人，他们虽然呢没有继续他们的大学教育，但是他们只是创造了非常优秀的职业。
So when I was a boy, we had no libraries at home or no access to books. Fortunately, there were I was aware of one other book, the public libraries.
在我小的时候呢，没有像你们现在这么幸运，学校里面就会有图书馆。那当时呢，我们要去公共的图书馆。
So I made use of those libraries, and from those libraries, I learned a lot.
这些公共图书馆对我的学习生涯帮助非常大。
So one fine day, after 1969, I realized that if I were to go to university, my father probably going to stay abroad. My father would not be able to pay for my education.
当我在17岁的时候呢，我会想到去国外读书，但同时也想到，因为家庭的经济状况，肯定我的父亲和父母亲呢不可以出这笔钱。
At that time, there were not many people like Mr. Wong who would give you a scholarship to go and study abroad.
真的很希望王国辉先生可以出生早多几年。那个时候呢，他就可以申请。
But there were two foundations. One is the Wong Foundation, and the other the Lee Foundation.
那个时候呢，其实也是有华人的一些基金来赞助华人学生去国外读书的。一个呢就是Lee的李基金，一个就是新。
But they did not give scholarships at that time.
那个时候他不会给那个全额奖学金。
They only gave a small allowance for you to go abroad.
他会给一些资助。
So I received 600 ringgit from Lee Foundation and 1,000 ringgit from Wong Foundation.
我当时呢，从2个基金会呢申请到600零级和100零级，一共700零级的资助呢去对。
That only paid for my plane ticket to America.
那个赞助金够我呢去美国的机票。
So what did I do? Fortunately, I found out that I could apply to American universities. And American universities, the private one, most of them, it's more difficult to get in than to get money from them. So once you get in, they pay for your education on a need-line basis. Need-line is not on your merit.
当时呢，其实美国的申请美国学校也是很难进的，但是他们会给，只要你进了的话，他会申请他学校给的一些奖学金，他的奖学金的这个是基于你家庭的经济状况来给颁发的。
So I got a scholarship from the university, which is called the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
所以呢，我很幸运的进了麻省理工学院。
And again, unlike your scholarship, which gives also living expenses, I had to work while studying to pay for my room and living expenses.
申请到的那个奖学金呢，只是呢学习奖学金，它不会包括你的生活费。不像今天的所有的获奖学金者呢，你们呢同时也得到了生活的资助。
So by going to a good university, it opens the key to your future.
进一所很好的大学非常重要，它就是你未来的一把钥匙。
So all the students here are here, 清华、北大、复旦、交通, they are excellent universities.
刚才也看到我们的奖学金得主都申请到非常好的中国大学。
So it's more than likely in the future you will be able to unlock for yourself a great career ahead.
我可以预言，从这一刻开始，你已经把你的未来已经会有一个非常好的未来。
Let me go to this picture, proper That's enough introduction. Okay. The first slide here talks about IQ, EQ, CQ. I'm sure you know all the Qs. So, how many of you think you are 100, IQ 100 and above?
在座的认为自己的智商会有多高呢？我相信每一位应该会超过100吧。
All of you are too humble. Because when I took a survey just now, most of you say you want to go to university. In the world, on the average, those who make it to university have an IQ of between 100 to 110. And those who go to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics have an IQ of between 110 to 115. For most of you, I think you are probably about 150.
其实根据呢相关部门做的调研，一般上大学的孩子们的智商都会在100和110之间。如果读科技类的呢，智商会在100到120之间吧。
But IQ alone doesn't really help you in life. Inherited IQ is, they say intelligence is inherited. That's a controversy because IQ doesn't necessarily measure intelligence.
其实智商真的可以体现一个人的智力吗？其实还是不是完全是。
In my view and the view of many other people, they say that in your life, maybe your IQ will assist you 30% of your success.
在我认为，也是所有基本上大家公认的。其实，在智商呢，在一个人的一生中，或者是在你的职业生涯中，可能扮演30%的这样的一个比例。
And also in life, you can improve IQ by studying and learning the right way by about 10 or 15%.
智商呢是可以通过学习再学习去进步的，可以进步10%到15%这样的一个比例。
But what is most important is what you do with yourself, how you work towards your objective in life. That would be the 70%. But 30% is your so-called IQ, and the rest is really how you think and plan for yourself in the future.
其实占最大比例的70%呢，是你出自你个人，你对你的工作态度，对学习的认真，会起70%的这样的一个比例。
The reason why I say is because I have many friends who went to Harvard, MIT, Stanford, all my generation. Yeah? And I would say maybe 20% really were successful in their life. The rest were ordinary people. Not bad, but ordinary. The fact that you are the top student in high school doesn't necessarily mean you will do well in life.
在我的周围有很多非常聪明的人，那他们很多也是从了世界上的名校毕业的，但是呢，真的在这些非常聪明的人中成功的比例，我们就是大致认为的成功的这样的一个因素的比例是20%。
Okay, so that's Okay, we talked about IQ, EQ. So these are the Qs. Emotional quotient is very important in your life. Culture and curiosity quotient. Yeah, it's sensitive to culture. Handling people of different culture. Social quotient, maybe you handle social, communicating with people. Communication. Physical, a sportsman may not be very high in IQ, but you cannot be in 100 meters rate. So, physical quotient, people fit. Artistic people can draw, may or may not have high IQ, but you can draw like them. Spirituality, which are people better the environment than us, more spiritual than me, and many others. This is just an example. Now, why do I draw this normal distribution chart? The knowledge distribution chart here, most of you understand it. But you know, someone who is a top student here may not be a top 100 meters race. He may be this part. Let's say this physical step. This he may be at the bottom end. Okay? So it depends on your attributes. How you exploit your own attributes. You have to know yourself in life. You have to get to know yourself. So if you are batting, if you want to compete with all the intelligent people, you are here, and you want to compete with them, you are not likely to win. But if these guys were not good in sport, want to compete with the ones who are good in sport, they are not likely to win. Right? So you back to your best advantages. Choose your advantages.
我们可以看到这边，所有的有智商、情商、文化商，这个社会的这个交流的商，还有这个有艺术细胞的商，都会在这里。然后做了一个基本的一个图，我们会看出来，其实呢，我们大部分人都会在这个就是正常的这个商的范围之内。但我在这里想说的话，每个人要认清自己的优势在哪里，把自己的优势发挥到极致。
So I give myself as an example. Okay, when I was in school in Malaysia, I was a top student in science, technology, and engineering. So I got to MIT. I was here in this class. Okay? But when I went to MIT, I was like here. You see? Compare, it's all relative. Okay? So I know that when you are a top dog in your school, you go to university, you are not a top dog. You go to a good university. So I decided, although I did chemical engineering, I decided I must good job. Because some of my classmates could be professors, better than the professors that were teaching us. That's how smart the classmates were. You're getting the top in the world. So when you're competing the best, then you know where to stand. Okay? Right? So I figure I will never make it to be the top in STEM by going to a place like MIT. Right? You imagine that you go to MIT, you end up in STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. But not so for me.
我以我自己的个人经历做一个举例哈，因为当时我也属于非常顶尖的在马来西亚的这个国家，所以呢才会被录取到麻省理工学院。当我到了麻省理工学院之后呢，我已经不在这样的一个范围，我觉得我已经和那边的同学们比的那个比较的话，我已经移到了相对正常值了。所以呢，很快我就注意到，我并不是一个非常擅长学这个科学、数学类的学生。
So although we are very good in this country, but the fact of the matter is, today even more so than my generation, your competition is not in this country alone, because globalization has taken place. You cannot de-globalize anymore. You cannot, like what America is trying to want to de-globalize. I think it's not going to be very successful. So you have to be faced with the fact that you are in a global village and you're competing globally.
其实孩子们的未来不是只是在马来西亚，我们肯定是属于整个国际的，所以我们要面向国际。
So, but don't benchmark yourself against your classmates here, or even your university mates. It might be different when you go out to college. If you seek excellence, you must benchmark yourself against the best in the area that you are in.
你所比较的永远都不是你旁边的同学，你所比较的是一个在国际上都非常优秀的人。
So this series that Mr. Wong has set up is called the Global Leadership Series, which he used the word global, right? And that's very appropriate for all of you as young persons of today to understand that you are living in a global village, not in a Keong village or Malaysian village.
我们是面向国际，不是面向居銮 不只是居伦，不只是马来西亚。
So I talk about excellence, and this gentleman who lived many years ago, Aristotle, most of you will know him, says excellence is never an accident. Now the fact that by accident you inherited good genes may not be enough. Yeah? You inherit good genes. All of you probably inherit very good genes because you're already in this very prestigious school. Right? It's not enough. It's always the result of high intention. You have to have intention. Do well. You have and sincere effort. If you are not sincere to yourself, you're deceiving yourself, you won't get anywhere. And intelligent execution. Execution is key. Executing it, rolling out what you intend to do, going forward. What steps you take to achieve what you want. That's very crucial.
简单的把这个名言呢给总结一下。他想说的是，卓越从来都不是偶然性的，它是通过高度的目标和真诚的努力和明智的执行力的来实现的。它代表了最明智的选择。再强调一下的是，决定你命运的是选择，而不是机会。
In many places, people think luck is important. Just earlier I took luck question. Maybe it's important, maybe not, but don't count on luck. Life, to determine your destiny, is by your choice, not by luck, by chance. And Mr. Aristotle said so too. Anyway.
决定你命运的永远都不是运气，是在你自己的努力和选择。
So whatever situation you end up in, you say this is my bad luck. Maybe you can change your situation by your own intention, plan how you get out of this situation, so that you go forward, not backwards, because of what you think got into bad luck.
当有时候不幸发生的时候，我们不用强调这个是因为我的运气差造成的。我们从运气差，我们把它反转过来，通过努力，通过学习，改变它。
Now, earlier you saw this quotation by Steve Jobs. This quotation, "Stay hungry, stay bullish," is not actually by Steve Jobs, but he quoted it in the graduation speech at Stanford University in the year 2005. It actually came from Hope Catalog 1974. Stay hungry, stay bullish. So, stay hungry, we all know, right? You work hard, you try to achieve better things for yourself as you move along the journey of life. But stay foolish. Why do you stay foolish? You stay foolish, but you don't become a fool. This isn't it. You know, fool and foolish are slightly different.
其实我想征求一下在座的各位，有没有更好的翻译关于这一句？有没有同学想试一下？ 有没有更好的翻译？质疑的话就是保持饥饿感，保持愚蠢，但是这个不是我们要质疑所要表达的意思，对吧？如果深点的话，就讲的是什么？进取源自于保持饥饿。 成功在于守住初心。
One time I joked with Mr. Wong. I said, maybe it wouldn't be giving a speech. My wife would be giving a speech. She's very good. So, foolish means many things to many people. But one of the things it means is sometimes in life, you have to take some risk. Move from your comfort zone to an area which is not your comfort zone, so that you can do better for yourself and for your society.
每个人都喜欢待在自己的舒适区，但是我们要试着跨出自己的舒适区， 然后对自己生活有所改变。
So in my case, I became foolish after I graduated from MIT. I joined University Britannia by accident. I was telling Mr. Wong my story. I was taking a friend to find a job in University Britannia. And instead of him getting the job, I got a job. You know, the dean there somehow recognized me as his ex-student. They said, I don't have a job for you, but I have a job for you. So I said, okay. So I was foolish enough to take up the job. But it was a good job, you know. It wasn't paying as well as other jobs that I got, but it was a good job. And I was exposed to student review, and I was exposed to government and Malaysian society very quickly, over 5-6 years. So it wasn't a bad term. But then I decided I must be foolish again, because I said, I'm not such a great actor, so there are better people. Let me do something else completely different. So I decided to be foolish. I decided to be a lawyer. Why did I decide to be a lawyer? Only because at that time, I found it very puzzling to understand why the Malaysian government did not allow the establishment of a university called Merdeka University. Oh, my friends here from Keong, you will know what Merdeka is. For you younger generation, you may not know what Merdeka University is about. At that time, the Chinese schools wanted to set up a university which would teach Chinese, but the Malaysian government solely on two words, public authority definition is wrong. Take that. A university is a public authority. You cannot set up Merdeka University, private university. So I was puzzled about law. So I decided maybe I should learn something about law. Maybe I go and do law. So I was foolish enough, packed my bag, and went to law school at Oxford University. But I didn't have money, so what I did do? I applied for a scholarship to do a doctorate at Imperial College so that I could get funded. I used the money to live. I paid from my pocket the tuition at Oxford University. So that's how I ran the program together. So I was foolish, but it was a good foolishness because later on I found out that law suited me, my personality, my character, my kind of life. It suited me well, and therefore I think, looking back, I did excel in what I chose.
我就快进一下这一部分这个黄先生讲的是呢，他从麻省理工学院毕业之后呢，他很幸运的被聘请到这个马来西亚大学然后他在那里有教学6年的时间，但是呢，当时他会觉得他应该有个改变，他也一直在做一个例子，像这样的一个，就是说我是一个好像不是明智的、愚蠢的，我把它翻译成明智吧，不明智的一个选择，所以他当时呢就去了这个英国的牛津大学学习法律。当时呢这个情形，大家会觉得你已经学了一个很顶尖的学位，却没有去继续的以这个学位去工作，然后要重新去另外开辟一个完全不同的领域。他很多人的眼里可能觉得这也是一个愚蠢的选择，但是他觉得这个愚蠢的选择呢，其实也是最后证明是明智的选择，因为他是非常喜欢法律的一个人。
So I moved myself from here in science, technology, and engineering to this lecturing. Maybe I was here, and in law, I think I'm around here. Right? In my life, I moved from one to another, and I found my calling here, law, at different terms.
黄先生想传递的一个信息是，在座的学生们不要害怕改变。其实呢，很多时候改变呢，都会有它正向的一个反应。黄先生属于比较幸运的，他呢，在他学了这个科学领域的时候，他发现并不是他的特长的时候呢，然后呢去继续学了他的特长。非常适合他的这个就是律师的这个行业，然后呢就刚才也看到的那个所有的 这个商类的话，你也可以把自己的就是转变到自己呢更适合的领域。
Later on in the slide, I will tell you in a little bit more detail of my of the profession law and myself, what I did to consider myself in that little prestigious side of the Bayesian distribution, or the normal distribution. So let's go to the next question. The man who asks a question is a fool for only a minute, but the man who does not ask is a fool for a life. So when we were young, in a company, my parents' company, I was little boy. If I start talking, my father would tell me, "Be quiet. Mobile, you talk too much."
好了，再请教一下各位的同学们，有没有更好的翻译在这里？要不要挑战一下？
So when we were young,
有没有更好的？黄先认为你们都是明白这句话所要表达的意思。
So we were Confucian culture. We were told not to ask too many questions. Don't open your mouth and children are fool. If you are a fool, right? Unless you are so smart, you open your mouth, open your mouth. But if you are not smart, you open your mouth. You don't know. If you don't open your mouth, they don't know whether you are smart or not. But if you open your mouth, they know you are a fool. So as a result, most of us don't open our mouth. But in America, the Americans will ask you any question, whether it's stupid or good question, they will just ask. They're not afraid, no fear. So a fool may not have no fear. A wise man shouldn't have fear either. No? If you have fear, you won't go anywhere. So never fear. You open your mouth, you ask foolish questions, never mind, correct me. I want to learn from you. Right? So we are taught, Asian culture. Not to ask. Stay quiet. Right? At home, my parents generation, stay quiet. So now, I'm telling you, even Confucius says, you better ask questions. He's not Confucian, right? Ask questions. Even if you think it's a stupid question, ask anyway. Okay? Right? Some people say, hey, don't ask that stupid question. But most people would say, today most people would say, right? They will try to answer your stupid question. Okay? Right? It doesn't matter. Don't be afraid. So you go out to university, make sure you go in front of the class. You go to a lecture hall like this, most people want to sit behind. They don't sit in front. Okay? But all the people who want to learn, they sit in front. Right? Because they are not afraid to learn from the professor. Right? He is paid to teach you, so make sure you do that when you go to university.
因为我们亚洲的文化还有我们生长的环境，总是会教育我们不要轻易的来问问题。但是这句话就是想说一点的说，如果你不问问题，你会永远不知道这个问题。其实你问了问题，可能当时看起来你不是那么聪明，好像你不知道这个问题的答案。但是你问了这个问题，你得到了答案，你是最聪明的人。黄先生想传递的一个信息给在座的所有的学生们，就是说要心中无惧，敢于挑战自己。
So I was like that. When I went to university, I was very quiet. I sat there. But my American classmates, they all asked a lot of questions. So some said, "Why this?" Right? Some said, "Oh, different." But I'm not watching, not the right thing. Okay? So later on, I learned as I progressed. First year I was like that. Second year better. Third year better. Fourth year even I started asking questions. Right? So you get used to it. After a while, you just ask. Okay. Huh? Now, this one here is a cycle we talk about hungry position. We talk about now, curiosity is very important. Curiosity, lifelong learning. Be curious. You know, they say curiosity kills the cat. So cat has 9 lives. Don't worry about it. Be curious. Okay? Be curious is important because if you are not curious, your brain doesn't work. It doesn't work. You don't use your brain. Right? So make sure you use your brain all the time. By being curious. By being curious as to what a person is saying or not saying. And you must be able to communicate. Very important, this communication. very important. Nobody knows how much you know unless you tell them how much you know. If you don't communicate, you don't get through. So you must be able to communicate. But you must communicate effectively. That means clear, simple, and clear.
我想再次强调一下，就是要保持这个好奇心。然后呢，这里面呢，我们想重要的强调一下，就是保持刚才又回到的饥饿感，保持看起来不是那么明智的。然后呢，最主要强调的就是沟通能力。我们要善于表达自己。沟通能力尤其在现在这个社会里非常的重要。因为如果你不要表达自己的话，没有人知道，也没有人会代表你去表达。
Again, my story, Kampong boy, student, 1969, I realized that if I want to get to university, I have to do something about it. But to change my, conventional way. Most students who wanted to go abroad those days went to England, Australia, not China, not America. So I decided I got to look for money. If I can get a free education, it would be the best. So it's not just America. Even today, you can go to European university and you can get a free education, but you have to pay for it. So for me, it was either Europe, France, Germany. But I had to get a new language. I was stupid. I didn't want to study a new language. Too tough. Not like Mr. Wong here, studying Chinese again. Too tough. So I thought I must go to somewhere with English, right? So America gave me an opportunity. And then I became an engineer. All right. Now I'm full-time health, interested in my health. That is wealth. The new wealth is called health. And then I do some charity and social, and I do some investment to help myself and also maybe whatever I can make, I can put to charity.
这里就是简单介绍一下黄先生的自己的一个故事，就是从一个乡村男孩通过教育来改变自己的一生。然后呢，刚才也提到他的教育的背景，去了麻省，然后理工学院，去了这个牛津大学，后来作为律师。所以他以前呢也是一个工程师，后来呢去了马来西亚大学，也做了几年的讲师。那最后呢，律师才成为他终身的一个职业。从律师的这个职业退休之后呢，他现在呢主要呢是在负责3个方面的不能说是工作了，就是兴趣吧。第一呢就是健康在座的也是健康，从年轻的时候就开始然后呢就是做一些投资，然后再主要是做一些就是社会工作和慈善工作。
So let me say something about charity. A group of friends and I decided to help Malaysian students in Singapore, in the university and polytechnic in Singapore. So we formed a small little group and raised money to give bursary, not full scholarship. We only assist you. So for those of you who didn't get a scholarship, go to Fudan, Tsinghua, Perak. If you can get to a Singapore university and you need the money, you must need the money. Don't take it for other people who need more than you, then those are others. Come and talk to me. Yeah? Because recently we had 50 bursaries for NUS, for Malaysian students, National University of Singapore. My friends and I interviewed 50 students. Yeah? And every time someone says, I'm from Keong, I say, which school are you from? Zhonghua. Of the 50 students, 6 were from Zhonghua, 6. Only for bursary. I'm sure a number of them from Zhonghua went to NUS. Maybe they got full scholarship, I don't know. But we only interview those who didn't get any other assistance. They come to us, and they're not necessarily the top student, but actually they're very good students. Some of them have accumulated almost perfect, 4.8, 4.9 out of 5 GPA. GPA. Some below that, some bit, but still good students. But if they compete with the others, or even better, they can get a scholarship. So we help them. We give them 5,000 Sing dollars a year to help them, not through scholarship. So we do help, and we are increasing the number of people who donate to this bursary scheme. We started in the US, now we're going to NTU, and we're going to SUTD, which is Singapore University of Technology and Design, and we have gone to Singapore Polytechnic, and then we may go to Singapore Management University. Those four, there are many others, those are the four universities. We are moving our asset. We try to raise money for Malaysian students, but because the ringgit is deep, by comparison to $6, they find it very difficult to go to university in Singapore. But my same friends are also doing something. The local university in Utah, we are also starting a loan fund. Zero interest. You can get a loan from the government, 1% interest after you graduate. Ours is 0% interest. So we're starting one, just starting one, Utah. So that's what we are doing in Singapore, trying to help Malaysians go to university. I discovered that there are many good universities, private ones here, from helping Utah. I found Taylor's, Sunway, and there are many training programs, there are many. So the opportunities are there for you to take. And it's up to you to find the money if you don't have the money.
简单的总结一下哈，就是黄先生和他的几位朋友也设立一个奖学资助金，刚上两三个礼拜之前吧，刚他们做了一个面试，其中有50个孩子来申请这个资助金呢，在50个孩子中呢，有6个就是从居联中华中学去的，他们呢是申请到了新加坡的国立大学。这样的孩子一年可以拿到5000新币或1万新币的一个资金赞助。同时呢，他们也开始呢一个新的一个基金，然后帮助这个Utah 这个大学的学生。那这个资金呢，就和刚才那个基金不太一样，它给他提供免利息的贷款。
And one of the things that we ask all the students who get assistance from us to sign a pledge, non-binding, not legal, sign a pledge, saying that when they graduate, if they do very well in life, and they are so inclined to put some money back to charity like this, educational charity, or back to the fund that we started, we will welcome them. We will urge them to do so. It's important for them to think of their community that they benefited from other people. They should likewise benefit other people themselves when they start working. So this is a message for recipients of Mr. Wong generous scholarship.
然后呢，我们希望这个善举一直可以传递下去，就是希望收到这个资助的奖学金的学生们，以后如果在自己的职业生涯中做得非常好的时候，也可以同时回报他的学弟和学妹们。
I say most intellectual people, because they are intellectual, they will have a good heart. So if you are intellectual, you will have a good heart.
这句话我们怎样去解释演绎一下呢？就说是最聪明的人都是最有善心的人，还是最善心的人都是有最聪明的人呢？我相信2个都是吧。
This is important, right? This is everybody knows Charles Darwin. He's not the only father to evolution. There's another chap called George Wallaceana. He and Charles actually came up with the theory of evolution. And Wallaceana did his research right here in Indonesia and South Asia. Wallace, many people don't know about that. But anyway, we quote Charles. They came up with the same theory. in the survival of the species is not the most intelligent. You may not survive. Okay? It's those who can adapt, change. Change. It's not your intellect. Remember what I said, 30%? That's it. It's the ability to change, adapt to the environment around you that is changing. For you, the environment is changing rapidly, very fast.
这里边我用一下达尔文的物种进化论来做一个举例，我想在座的学生们可能都知道他在想要传达的意思。简单说一下呢，就是幸存下来的物种，并不见得是最聪明的物种，也不见得是最强的物种，但它是怎么样的呢？就是它是最适合这个环境而生存下来的物种。
I'm going to go a bit fast because why do I bring this guy up? His name is Mr. To. He sells wine, if you like wine, and spirits. He is from an urban slum in Petaling Street. He was my classmate in school. Good student, top student. He did not complete high school because he thought his father couldn't pay for his education in the university. So after O level, fifth grade, secondary school, he quit. Became a store clerk at a company called Lever Brothers. And then, at the age of 48, the company retrenched him. Got no job. You know, pretty serious, right? But he adapted to the change in his life. He didn't commiserate or become miserable and say, oh, I got retrenched. No, he didn't do that. We were playing mahjong with some friends. Well, I said, hey, come and join us. We form a company. We sell wine. And the rest is history. Today is very successful. His company is called Asia Euro Wine and Spirit. And he went to an English school like me, but he's better. In the afternoon, he went to Chinese school to study Chinese. Okay? So he's 中英两个人，他的understanding of 中国的历史很深。His understanding of Chinese. So he is an incredible. Look at him, he looks very young. He's slightly older. He looks very happy man. He's never pessimistic. He's always optimistic. Always smiling. So that's one character, one example. A person who, had very low ambition, but later on life, he was no job, At 48 years old, nobody want to hire you at 48 years old. And what they have, qualifications store clerk. By the way, store clerk very useful because his warehouse has many different wine and spirits. You've got to take good care of that and knowledge of the inventory properly. That's storage, okay? Right? So his past skill actually came useful. So for you, what do you want to do? All of you, except for one person, want to go to university. So you are more than likely to end up in number 2, professional. Okay? Maybe you come up at university, you want to go to start your own business. Okay? Some may start up, there are a lot of startup business. But most of you will end up as professional. Some may go to government, some non-government, some go to university to lecture. Some may become carpenters, mechanics or plumbers. Not many, I think only one person got up there. The rest want to go to university. So you are likely to end up as a professional. So what are professionals? Okay. Science and engineering, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Now is the thing. Very hot. Everybody wants to go in there. Okay? Everybody thinks it's going to succeed. No, chase your dreams. Chase your dreams. Medicine, law, finance and banking, accountancy, architecture, fund manager. What's that? Ask Mr. Wong. He's a fund manager. Management consultant. What's a management consultant? Management consultant. The word consultant is a dirty word. Consultant is useless. No, not necessary. They're high quality management consultant. The top management consultant, see companies, usually from the US, they come up with this MBA concept, right? Business consultancy. So, and they also consult with the Malaysian government, for example. The multimedia super corridor was done by McKinsey. The Mahathir consultant McKinsey come up with the concept. So Management consultant do anything. If you join a management consultant, you learn a lot. Okay? Whether you benefit your client or not is another matter, but you learn a lot. Okay? Right? You better benefit your client, but otherwise they will pay you. And you charge a lot too as a management consultant. So that's a thing that I didn't think of when I graduated. But looking back, maybe I should have joined that. Nobody mentor, right? At that time, so educated teacher. Actually, the guy who predicts the future. Events that can happen, and usually they are hired by insurance company. And then sports, of course. If you are athlete, you are badminton player, you make money, you make a living by coaching. Your career is going to be very short-lived, very short.
其实呢，同学们有很多职业的选择，你可以根据自己的所长来选择自己未来的就业。这里呢就是Mr. Wong 主要就讲了一下，就是管理顾问这个职业。据说在他年轻的时候，他就没有想过这样的一个职业。如果呢，就说有人给他有一个指点的话，就像你们现在这么年轻这个阶段，如果有非常有经验的人跟你做一些就是一些个人的一些咨询的话，可能大家也可以考虑一下这个职业，就是就是管理顾问这个职业。这里我要想再说一下，就是精算师。精算师可能在高中的时候，我们的同学们还没有想过这个职业，但是呢，它的发展也是非常广泛，就是广泛在运用在保险的行业。孩子们也可以做一些进一步的一些研究。
By the way, I take back what I said about sports. There is a degree in sport at Nanyang Technological University, and I also, as part of my social work, I work with autistic people, Down syndrome, intellectually disabled people. I jog with them. They call Special Olympics. I jog with them twice a week. And the person, the volunteer, head coach, we call ourselves coaches. The head coach is a graduate from Nanyang NTU in sports. Okay, so it's a lifelong pursuit for him. He is organizing all these things for special people who are intellectually disabled. Okay, so that is a profession too. Okay, I want to go on this profession. This guy was my classmate, Malaysian, at MIT. First year. We were there first year together. But of course, he has gone to greater and better things. Okay? His name is Chen Fu Sama. Dan Chong Teo. In the Google him, you hot time. He went to MIT. He's the unlikeliest person you think you do with CEO of a top-notch multinational corporation, because he has a nerve disorder, like in nerve, and he couldn't communicate very well. Okay? Defies what I said earlier, he was a good communicator. He couldn't communicate that far. Okay? But I think over the years, he forced himself into communicating. Because he has this congenital, but his brain is super, very smart, top. Super brain. But he also reckoned he won't make it in the Stanford. He decided to go to Harvard Business School. Okay? And then from Harvard Business School, he went to work for PepsiCo. And then he worked for General Motors. Then he got headhunted by Human Industries, which is mentioned, quick name Chan. And then from there, he went to Singapore to work with Pac-Man, and then he went to work for an Indonesian company. And he did so in all these companies. Okay? Not extraordinary. But because he had 3 children, one is severely autistic, not functioning. One is mildly autistic, and the third one is normal. And at that time, Singapore and Malaysia did not have schools that catered to these autistic. So he went back to America and settled down in California. I think in Pennsylvania, he got a small job in a company called Integrated Device Technology. Okay. That's the one that launched him. He went in as a small little man in financial control. Over time, his boss, who was a migrant from Eastern Europe, who was the brain behind the company, which dealt with mobile technology. Like him, because this guy is so smart. He not only knows how banking and finance and all those stuff, he also knows engine, STEM. If you tell him anything, he learns very fast. His brain picks up very fast. Although he couldn't communicate well, his brain is very fast. So the boss was an engineer, recognized the talent. So this guy, the boss decided to retire. Okay, I give this company to all of you. CEO, CFO, at that time it became CFO, CEO. You take it and you run. But the CEO had other ideas. The CEO wanted to sack him. Yeah. So this poor guy, genius, he worked for Pac-Man before. Venture fund, private equity. So he went to California, got a private equity company to back him up to do a leverage buyout, to buy out the company and sack all those others. It's like Sun Jiuping farm, you know. Instead of you sacking me, I sack you. I got somebody else to help me sack it. You know? So he went to listen and he took over the company. And of course, he ran the company very well, made a lot of money. And he sold the company. So he was twiddling his fingers up his own. Then he was headhunted by a company called Avego, my client, Avego. We formed it in Singapore, Avego. Avego was a spin-off from Hewlett Packard. Okay? Hewlett Packard. Avego was a small company when he joined. Maybe market cap 8, 9, 10 billion US dollars. Small in America, but big. And with that, he grew it to about maybe 18, 19 billion. Then he had a big appetite. He decided to swallow Broadcom. Took over Broadcom. Smaller company taking over, bigger, slightly bigger. Yeah, Broadcom. And the Broadcom founders liked him. They said, okay, we accept that you be the CEO and president because he's so smart. He's brain, technical brain. Yeah. So don't look down on his talent, no. He's still got a technical brain. So he took over Broadcom and became CEO of Broadcom. When he took over Broadcom, maybe the combined unit about 40, 50 billion dollars. Today is $340 billion. He's a billionaire now because your stock options. But he's a good man. He put the money, 100 million to MIT to study autism, 100 million to Harvard to do something with autism and medical research, another 100 million to Cornell University where his wife or ex-wife graduated from, and another small amount here and there to other places. So he funded all these top universities because he made his money from high. One of these days, I'm asked him to fund Malaysian University. So this is the guy. Immediately, you won't be impressed by his personality, but he is very impressive. Very impressive. So he's the top guy. And one fine day, he wanted to acquire Qualcomm. Now, Qualcomm is one of the top 10 semiconductor companies in the world. So is Broadcom today. Okay? So before he acquired Qualcomm, Trump came to power. So Trump wanted to move all the companies, American companies, back to the USA. So he said, okay, my company is a Singapore company. We moved back to the US. So he went to the White House and gave a speech in the White House next to Trump. And then said, I'm just a country boy, kampong boy from Penang. And then Trump, so am I. Country boy from nowhere. But anyway, despite the publicity campaign that he ran to try to get support from the White House, the Broadcom deal was not approved by CTS, which is the Committee for Foreign Investment in the US, CFIUS. Committee for, they did not approve that takeover by Broadcom of Qualcomm. If government took over Qualcomm, it would be mega. It would be one semiconductor company. And Qualcomm Act today sanctions selling some of the high-tech to China. What I'm trying to say to you is this guy is always thinking how to improve his position and his company's position in the highly competitive market.
简单的快进一下，因为同学们肯定可以 Google 一下梅斯特丹，你都会看到他的丰功业绩。我想在这里说的就是你们肯定 Google 不到的他的那一部分，就是呢，他呢其实是有这个神经的一些疾病， 然后呢，所以呢，他的表达能力是不是他的不是他的强项。在他成为出名，就他在美国是非常出名。出名之前呢，他也在试过不同的工作。那在这个过程中，你可能还没有看到他未来会变成这样一个成功的一个就是商人。就再一次想强调一下给同学们，就是自己的生命呢是在不断的努力和改变，然后呢不要畏惧改变，要迎难而进，然后直到发现自己的最好的。
Yeah, that's key. So when you go to university, make sure you be friends with everybody, including the guy who is very obscure. Don't look down at the guy because he could be a superstar one day. Okay. And what more important is this guy has some deficiency. You ask him to read a map, he can't do it very well. Okay. And yet he's so brilliant in other things. Okay. So what the curve again? You are brilliant in certain things in life. Focus on those. Okay. Right. Forget about your weakness. Don't forget. Lay it down. Work on your strengths. Okay. Right.
我们得快进一下，时间上好像有点紧促。
So dream big, and don't just dream. Take action on your dream. Okay. Right. If you don't take action, you will not get anywhere. You carry on dreaming in life, and you just be a dreamer. Okay? So you don't want to be just a dreamer. Dream big and work on your dreams. Okay. Got it. So I'll give you another story of myself. Anybody recognize this lady? Anybody? Who recognizes this lady? Right? Any student? Okay. This lady was my colleague in the law firm, Baker McKenzie. It is a global law firm. She became the first woman chairman of our firm. Our firm had 77 offices around the world, in 46 countries. Okay? 77 offices, 46 countries. We had at that time maybe about 5,000 lawyers around the world. Okay? And she was the chairman. Me, I was the chairman of Asia Pacific. Okay? So she and I served on the management committee of the global fund called the executive committee. Okay? And we also sat in the parliament of the firm called the policy committee. So she chaired it. But what did she become after she left the firm? She left the firm and joined the French cabinet. She's French. She swam in the rhythmic swimming Olympic for France when she was 17 years old. Very athletic. And she's a vegan. And she doesn't drink alcohol. Now imagine a French doesn't drink alcohol. Doesn't drink wine. Anyway, so she became the finance minister of France later, and then she became the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, which is IMF. And then from there she is today the European Central Bank chief executive. Okay? So she has gone very far. She skipped out from law. Right? Earlier than me. I retired from law. She skipped out. Today she's an ECB chairman. So for all the women here, don't let your gender be to you a barrier. There's no barrier. Work on it. Right? Many corporations today intentionally look at women to try to first hire and promote. But you must, of course, have the basic skill ability on merit basis. So, as for me, I established two local firms within the international. I established Wong and Liao in Singapore and Wong and Partners in Malaysia. Together, these two firms have 200 something, 200 people. Wong Partners, maybe about 100. Next week I'm going there to celebrate the 35th anniversary of KL. Wong and Liao maybe about 150. So we have quite a good setup here. And we link up with Indonesia to RAN, Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia Economic Union. And I also went into local regional leadership of the firm. I started what is called the venture capital and private equity practice in my office. And I spread it out in Asia Pacific. Then I went to the global firm and global group, which eventually grew so well that we have many blue-chip private equity companies as our client, like Blackstone, like Carlyle, like the Chinese private equity fund called CBS, I think, CDH, and many others. Well-known private equity companies or firms or clients. Focus on the practice. Then I became Asian teacher.
这里就简单介绍一下梅斯特翁的自己的就是职业的一个生涯。成为律师之后呢，他的当时的律师事务所是贝克尔·莫坎尼，和他一起工作呢，在旁边的这个当时呢是律师事务所的主席。那他就是是一个法国的Christine Lagarde。然后呢，他呢就是也同时建立了2个本地的一个律师楼，一个在新加坡，一个在马来西亚，也成为了当时也成为了就是亚太区的主席，他在这里想强调的一下的就是说2个信息，一个信息在所有的就是我们的女学生中。要把自己的这个性别成为女性，把它成为一个优势，因为现在呢很多的这个公司其实呢是在鼓励女性的这个就业，或者给她更多的机会在这个管理层方面。在另外一个信息就是说，把自己呢，不论你是从哪里开始。但是呢，都有这样的机会，成为一个国际的一个这样水平的一个在自己的职业的方面会成为一个把它就是不只是局限在本地把它放大到国际的就是这样的一个层面上。
Okay, I just want to say 2 more things about this. Firstly. I did something that people asked me not to do. They said that there's no way I can establish a local law firm linked to an international law firm. My senior partners all told me I was a young guy, junior. They said, no, you cannot establish, we tried, we failed. I said, is that right? You fail doesn't mean I will fail, right? So I proved them wrong. I set up 2 local firms, one in Malaysia, one in Singapore, linked to Vega Mackenzie, which at that time they thought was impossible. Okay? Which I structured it such that it's possible. So you got to use your brain. The second thing I did not do right is I never intended to be a regional and a global leader of the firm. Each time a position like that came up, he asked me, why don't you run for executive committee? I said, me? I'm an Asian, you know. He said, oh, I'm more Matale firm. No, I'm Asian. No way I can be an executive member. But then you run, you know. So I ran, I became. Then when the chairman of Asia Pacific position came up, he said, you run for it. I said, you run for it. No, I don't think I'm that good, right? But then a lot of people ask me, I ran? I said, so that's not planned. That's not good. In my view, if I were more planned, I would have done better. Okay? So for you, you must aim for it. I didn't aim for those positions. People asked me, so I thought, okay, I run. Just like that. One try, right? But that's not the way to do your life. Plan for it, aim for it. Like Obama, he aimed to be a president at the age of 10 years old. Imagine a black president, he became president. And it's a great community. So that's important. And by the way, the reason why I was asked is because when I joined the international network, my group of firms were at the bottom quartile of global. I led it from there to top 5. 1 or 2 years ago, number 1 in the whole world. Yeah? So that's what they say. Who is this Asian guy? You run, you know, right? And I introduced profit maximization by looking at key performance indicators for the firm. We introduced, and all the officers went out from the executive committee, and it improves the performance of the firm throughout the global, right? You can see it sweeping across like a big wave. So it's quite important that you use your ideas and push it forward, even though, and don't be afraid, even though you think it may or may not work. Don't think that it won't work. Think that it won't work.
抱歉，想还是要 fast track 一下，因为时间很紧，孩子们好像都饿了。
如果你不要他翻译，我可以继续。
我们快一些哈，我知道同学们好像是吃饭。
I'll tell you something about legal profession first. How many of you want to be lawyers? Nobody. Nobody wants to be lawyers. You know, really, I don't talk very much about it. But if you want to be a lawyer, you're talking. There are duties and there are things to do as a lawyer. And I've got 2 books which are given to students for learning the law. You can use it in the library. The importance of leadership. Most people think that no, you cannot be a leader, right? But actually, only 5% are natural leaders. The rest of it, 50% can be trained. Although Mr. Lee Kuan Yew said no, but I think that's because you don't need a top leader, you can lead whatever you're doing. Okay? You can train yourself, or other people can train you. So when I was in my firm, I set up a leadership college to train others to lead the firm so that they lead it better, rather than lead without any direction. Okay?
我们很快的过一下，就是领导力是可以被训练的，这个是肯定的。
So when you work with people with positive attitude, positive energy. Try to avoid people who have negative attitude. It's bad thing. It pulls you down too. So select the people you work with. Positive attitude. People who are positive. And you yourself, if you are a negative person today, change yourself. Remember, change. Make yourself a positive person. Okay. If you think you are not very alert, or not very passive person, make yourself a little bit more active. Change your position. Okay. Right? That's important. Be positive. People don't like to deal with negative. Oh, you can't do it. Oh, no. Oh, this. No good. Okay? Change your position at that time. And know yourself. Very important. I said, know yourself. You look at the mirror and you don't know the person in the mirror, then you better start knowing the person in the mirror. Okay? And seek good mentors. Very important. In my life, unfortunately, I did not seek mentors. If I saw someone, maybe you would not. Seek good mentors in life. Many people like to mentor you because they like you to ask them to help. You ask them to help, they will help you. More than likely. 90% will help you. Someone say, go away. Forget about those people. Okay, go away. This guy, I go there, another guy. Right? So, seek mentors, very important. And observe role models. Role models. Read biographies of successful people. That's very interesting because it gives you a lot of lessons. Okay? A lot of lessons. If you want to achieve great things, read the biographies of great people that you like in the area that you want to be. So, and in life, try to motivate and inspire others, and likewise, try to be motivated and inspired by the people who can give you the leeway, the lead into a better area of work. And think big. Think big. You don't think big, you'll always be small. You don't think that you can achieve, then you won't be able to achieve. Think you can be a doctor, not just a doctor. Think that you can be the top doctor, not just a top doctor. Think that you can be the best surgeon in town. Okay? And you will be that. If you don't inspire yourself, you cannot get there. You already defeated yourself without starting. Don't do that. No? Don't hurt yourself that way. Think positive, okay? Think big. Now, this is something interesting. I quote Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. This is an inspirational leader. This is recognized by the whole world. I know a lot of Malaysians may not like it, but I like it. Why? Because he says, first job of a government is to equalize opportunities. It means anybody, whether you are poor, intellectually disabled, so on, we give you an equal opportunity to pursue something. But once you are given the opportunity, seize it, make use of it, exploit it. Make sure you succeed in the opportunity given. Because after that, don't expect to equalize results. Don't expect people to help you. Because no one owes you a living. No one owes you a living. Nobody owes you a living. You owe yourself a living. Okay? Don't expect people to equalize the results for you. If you expect when you are a failure, don't do that. Right? You go out like we did on midlife basis versus for people to get a university education. Once they get out, they have to compete. And your competition is here. as I said earlier, is global. Your generation, more so than mine, will face seriously with global civilization and global competition and global excellence of you. Very much more. Of course, you are better equipped than us. We did have such internet that we needed to find out. We couldn't go to the library, walk to the library, it takes 3 or 4 hours to get there and come back. This man was my mentee, that means I mentored him. Right? I hired him for a summer job in Singapore. He's a Singaporean. He went to King's College, Singapore, to do law. He got a first class honor. I wanted to hire him. Luckily, he was smart. He didn't want to join me. He joined our Hong Kong office in Hong Kong. Bigger, better than each China. Really small. So he made the right choice. I would have done with him, but this same way when he joined me. But anyway, through the years, I saw him grow, and he consulted me again. And finally, when I was about to leave my firm, we merged. Singapore, Jakarta, Keong, Hong Kong, China, Korea. Yeah. He was in charge of it. I was in charge of it. The two of us, friends, we merged areas such as our total revenue became maybe 1/3 of the global revenue. Okay? And so he was running 1/3 of the world, okay, at the time. And then I said, now that we are merged, I was about to leave, retire, and the year I retired in French just before I retired. I said, now that you are merged, Milton, the next stage for you is championship of the global firm. We were the first Asian. Then, no way. I said, Milton, why? No way. What's wrong? I'm an Asian. No. Think big. I said, no. Go for it. 3 or 4 years later, he wasn't even the executive committee. He was only head of our combined Indian market. That's very big. The position came open because the chairman of our group died for the job. So the position came open. They went out to look for someone, and he went for it, and he became chairman of the group. Okay? That's a success story. A local boy, Asian, who thought he wouldn't make it. I said, think big, think that you will, and be the chairman, and you will become the chairman. Right? And he became the chairman. So that's an example of focusing yourself on what you should be and you can be. So to do that, you must have a strategy. A strategy without tactics. That's always good. Winning. But tactics without strategy is a noise before you. So that's what you think. You don't want it more than me. But plan your life. Okay? So you plan your life, have a goal, have a strategy, have a plan of action, have an execution plan, a milestone that you check to see whether you achieve your plan. Then review your plan whether you are not achieving your milestone. Then when you're implementing it, try to change a tweak here and there, a bit change, remember, change, tweak the plan, and cut loss. You think that you're not making it, you should know when to cut loss. Don't stay on there with a stick in the mud. You cannot move. You're stuck, you're frozen. Seek some mentors to help you out, cut the loss, and get out to a situation that you don't want to be. Okay? Your plans are all wrong. Change, okay? And revise it back. Right? This is what you want to do for yourself, whether it's now or tomorrow when you are an executive in some company, or you are a businessman in the future, starting your own company. Very similar approach. Okay? Always review and always motivate and harness talent, because talent is what you need to make yourself. If you don't have talent looking around you, your organization will not grow. I always tell you to hire people better than yourself, so that your organization will grow, and you will grow with your organization. So because you have people better than you working with you, you will become better. Okay? So very important. Okay, so finally these attributes are what people like generally for successful folks. The last one is very important. Manage your anger. Don't fail because of anger. Okay? The last one. Otherwise, these are standard stuff. You probably know it more than me. And life, joy of living. Make sure you enjoy life too. Don't be so serious all the time. Have some fun. And your education and career, all these are qualities things in life. The French say, joie de vivre. Enjoy life, no. Joy of living. Okay? Life is not miserable. Even you are poor, you need not be miserable. Okay? Get yourself out of the poverty. No? Using your own effort, your self-determination. Remember what I said? It's not luck, it's your choice that determines your destiny. Your choice determines your destiny. Not your destiny determines you. Okay? So failure is an option. Don't be discouraged. But fear is not. Don't fear. Don't fear failure. You don't try it, you won't know. You try, you fail. Okay, try again. Okay? And this man here was an MIT graduate. He failed he was a top physicist, director of physics at MIT. But he failed in the exam, the art subject. But he was top. And he went on to win the Nobel Prize. He was a professor at Caltech.
不好意思，王坚强先生，不好意思，我必须要在这边打断一下哦，因为有些同学可能他们刚好要那个赶巴士，所以现在我们先中间先穿插一个行程，好吧？我们就先拍个照，然后我们就先让一部分赶巴士的同学他们先去赶巴士，然后接下来我们还会有同学就是留下来跟你一起做一些后续的交流。好，同学，你们现在赶快就是我们邀请大家稍安勿躁，我们刚刚有跟巴士司机那边争取了一点时间大家稍安勿躁。好，我们请我们今天的讲者王金强先生，我们来到我们台下这里，我们来进行一个感谢状的颁发仪式，好吗？我们先来掌声感谢一下我们的经理。